Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new update of the crypto markets. First of all, I just want to remind you to stay inside, take care of your family. Don't be selfish this weekend. Don't go to pubs if you're still allowed to. Just do it for one weekend and then move on. Do it for your family. Do it for the people that might be in need of help in the coming weeks, as there's probably a disaster coming our way, as we know from Italy. But then we're going to check the markets. I just used a pretty clean chart in which we can see that one line tells it all. Yesterday I've made an update in which I was expecting a drop down already from 6.4. Well, we made a small drop down. I'm coming back to that in a few minutes. Made a new push afterwards, and then we rejected at the old support at 6.8 and make a pretty decent drop down. If you check my Twitter, you saw that I saw many people becoming bullish back again because of the rally upwards, but all I see is just a bearish rejection here. All I see is that we've lost a big support level, and it's gonna take some serious time until we break out of this whole structure and bottom out. We know it from the breakdown here. It took a long time until we bottomed out. Are we going to see 4.2, 4.8? I guess so. Are we going to see new lows? Depending on the markets. We've witnessed the first panic on the coronavirus. It still has to hit many countries. So what we've seen earlier today is that, for instance, the stock markets had some relief. As you can see, they bounced up 15% in Europe. I don't know if it's the same for the other stocks as well. Let's see, Germany bounced up with 9%, a small relief. But the real panic, the second wave of panic, still has to come. There's a panic right now that everybody understands it's coming. We've seen it in Italy, but now it has to come to their countries. And I expect it to be hitting the Netherlands in the next week, as we're just following Italy. From that, I don't think you should be bullish on Bitcoin at this point until proven otherwise. For instance, if we flip back 6.8, I'm going to flip my bias. Until then, I expect cash to be king, especially given that dollar is showing strength. And people will just first look for cash rather than a risky asset as Bitcoin. There's two scenarios that I'm watching through which we could be flipping bullish. One is people fly out of the dollar because of hyperinflation and seek for other assets. So then gold, silver, platinum, and crypto will become bullish. The other one is that we have to wait until the equity markets bottom out, just like we've seen in 2008, after which gold, silver, and the other commodities outperformed the equity markets. That's also a scenario, and until now, I guess that's the main scenario. What does that mean? That does mean that I'm expecting this whole breakdown to take a long while until we bottom out, unless we break back above 6.8. But if you go back in history, a bottom structure takes a long time. We've witnessed a huge drop down in November 2018, bounce back up, and a new low. Am I saying that we're gonna get a new low here? I don't know for now. All I know is that from every bottom structure we see here is that bottoming takes a long time. And usually we test the previous levels back again. So what I've been doing is scaling out of the market at 6.4 already. Went further until 6.8, and I'm chilling in cash. If we make a push back up and break here, I'll just buy the retest. Would be a big surprise for me if we go back down, make a new low at 4.1, 4.4. We could be making the bullish divergence, which I've been discussing many times, and then I'm happily inclined to be a big buyer of crypto. Dropping prices does not mean that you have to be in fear or scared about it. It's actually bringing you opportunities. I believe that crypto and commodities will be the biggest gainers in the next few years. So the cheaper I can buy, the better it is. Until then, I'll just chill in cash and have and focus on my family. Let's go to the smaller time frames. I was discussing the I don't know if it's here. I guess it's the other one. Let's see. Yeah, I was discussing the 6-4 level as a monthly level in which we rejected yesterday. We flipped the 6k zone as support, which is okay. Didn't expect that to happen actually, so it got me trapped a little. After that, I tweeted earlier today that a new rally upwards would be towards the level here, around 6.7, 6.8 and a half. We did that and we rejected. We even hit 7.150 on Bitstamp. On Binance we didn't. And after that, a harsh rejection down. And if we check the 12-hour and daily, that does not make me really bullish at this point, but the daily didn't close yet, so we can still adjust. But from this, we see that we've rejected heavily and dropping down towards the previous support around 6.1. There's two scenarios that I'm watching at this point. Is that we could bounce back up, make a new high, make a bearish divergence, and then we start to rally down. Or, let me delete this. I have to zoom in for this. Or we bounce back up towards 6.550 and then we drop down. I still expect we have to bottom out and check lower levels, so at least I'm expecting an area test of 5.558 to occur. If the bounce is going to be weak enough here, I assume we're going to crack down, and then I'll be pointing towards 4.2, maybe 4.8, not expecting it, and potentially even 3.7. Once again, my bias will switch if we hold here and make a strong bounce up, break above 6.150, or if we flip 68. But until then, I'm assuming we're still bearish, and I'm assuming we have to drop further down. I guess that's that. We should be expecting some slight upwards movements from here, but further I'm expecting everything to drop down. Let's see how Ether is doing. Well, we hit the 152 mark I projected earlier, dropping down here as well. And now the key factor is whether we can break back above. I should use the horizontal line, I guess. If we can break back above the area here, if we can't and make a bearish rejection, I assume we're going to test 120. That's my first level I'm looking for longs, or at least checking whether we can sustain any support there. But if I'm seeing this and we make a bearish rejection here, I assume we're going to test the lower levels. You can see it in every bottom structure, so like whatever. And the levels that I'm watching in general are 100, 90, 83, and probably even 18, 150. 115. But for now, I assume we're going to make a bottom structure in which we're going to seek for a bullish divergence here on the larger time frames. So being patient is probably the way to go. It was a nice rally upwards of 48%. Taking profits is fine, I assume. The same is just occurring on every altcoin at this point. I have to use the other one. Link also made a nice bounce up, but if I check the daily, then this looks like shit. And I think we're gonna see some lower levels to be tested. Mainly watching whether we can hold the 160, 175 level, potentially even 125. In general, I think we have to bottom out on the market, and that's gonna take some time. So that's it for Bitcoin, 6.5.5. Maybe a new high for bearish divergence, and then I'm going to watch for 5.5, 5.6, 5.7.5 for a quick bounce, but further I'm just going to wait until probably 4.8. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with a request video.